Now, they went to trial first, and during the first trial, I think that was in '93. That was when I was, I was with them during that trial. There was a hung jury because they were allowed to talk about the sexual abuse from their father and mother. And there was a hung jury. The jury could not decide on a conviction or not. And then in the second trial, which I think occurred in 1995, the sexual abuse was not allowed to be brought in. And I was wondering, well, why not? That's important. If there was really abuse, this is important. It's a factor in why they killed the guy. Now, and the mother. Now, let me explain this. Of course, I'm not justifying the murder. I'm not saying, okay, it was okay, go murder the people. They could have done other things. They could have ran away. They could have went to the authorities. And it's scary stuff, don't get me wrong, because, hey, I go to the authorities, my father finds out, there's no basis for me to say anything. He's a powerful guy. He's in the music industry. A lot of people like him. Who knows? They might have been afraid to go to the authorities. Could they have went to their relatives? I believe they did, to maybe one or two. But there again, I can understand fear of the mother and father, them not going that way. But they could have ran away, and I'm not justifying in any way the fact that they got shotguns and blew their mother and father away. I'm not saying that that's justified. They could have done something else. What I am saying is this: I don't believe the boy should have been convicted of first-degree murder. I think it was an absolute mistake from that judge to not allow evidence of the abuse to come in, because it's a fact. They were abused. Even the family members said that they were abused. But in the second trial, wasn't allowed to come in. They both got convicted, and they both got life in prison with no parole. Was that just? No, I don't believe so. I think at the very least, or the most they should have got was maybe manslaughter. Because if you listen to the degree of the abuse that they got, it was horrible. And of course, if you look at the series Monster, the mother and father appear to be monsters. I'm sorry. Now, again, is dramatic liberty taken in this? Yes, of course. But they appeared to be pretty bad. And in the series, and I think was part of their defense in the first trial, both boys were afraid that their mother and father were going to kill them if this information got out, the fact that they were being abused. And that's what caused them to go and kill them. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's make believe it's not true, but let's make believe what I know to be true, and that is that they were sexually abused from the time they were young boys. It was horrible, the level of abuse that they got. So they killed their parents. First-degree murder without parole? I don't think so. Manslaughter? Okay, because they could have done this in a different way. So what are they doing now? The prosecutor is going to decide whether they agree and say, you know what? If this would have happened today, because we have such a focus on pedophilia, on sexual abuse, we had the Me Too movement, we had all of this going on, a jury might have looked at this a little bit differently. And certainly, if this abuse was allowed to come into the case, into the second trial, they might have even got acquitted in today's day and age. Who knows? So the prosecutor, Gascon, is looking at it, thinking about the current day and how this is viewed today, because things do change. And the fact that that information wasn't allowed to come in. But here's the thing. Here's what happened, and this is very interesting. And this is the appeal that the boys filed just last year. The brothers filed a petition following revelations from the Peacock docuseries. There was a docuseries on Peacock streaming platform titled Menendez plus Menudo, Boys Betrayed. Now, you know who the Menudo, they were a boy band back in the 1990s, which includes allegations that their father sexually assaulted a former underage member of the 1980s boy band Menudo. And I think he was very explicit in revealing how he was sexually abused by the father, by Jose Menendez. Now, Jose Menendez, that's what he did. He was in the music business, and he was the manager of Menudo. And this young man finally just came out and said, yeah, he sexually abused me. And he was very explicit about how the sexual abuse happened. So now that leads credence to what Erik and Lyle has said, that he was an abuser. That wasn't revealed at their first trial. If it's being revealed now, and it is, and the prosecutor is saying, I'm going to give it a look, which, you know what? That's pretty good in itself, because most of the time, prosecutor just says, nope, I don't care, guilty, that's it. We don't care what new evidence you're bringing forward, no good, no good. But in this case, Gascon has said, no, I'm going to look at it. We have a moral obligation to look at it. And if this makes sense, then maybe we'll even go along with it. Now, if the prosecutor goes along with it, the chances, in my view, are about 99% that this conviction will either be overturned, the sentence will be commuted to time served. I don't think they're going to try him again. That would be ridiculous, in my view, 30 years later. But they're going to get a break and probably be able to come home from prison. So that's a good thing. I believe it. I don't think they should be in prison. I think they served their time. And under the conditions, I think they should be allowed to come home. They've done enough. Let me read a little bit more because I think this is interesting. Okay. The new evidence presented in the petition includes a letter written by Erik Menendez that his attorneys say corroborates the allegations that he was sexually abused by his father. Gascon said he believes that the topic of sexual assault would have been treated with more sensitivity if the case had happened today. And we know that. You know, if the case happened today with all the sexual assault allegations, with Diddy, with 120 people at least filing against Diddy, if this would have happened now, people would have paid closer attention. They'd have said, yeah, this could be true. Back then, no, you didn't hear about that. Harvey Weinstein, way back when, you didn't hear about that. It was only within the last several years that you hear about Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too movement, all these, sexual allegations. It's just coming to light now.